Hello future teacher, welcome back. In this video, we are going to continue talking about the cooperative learning environment. We are already on the benefits of having a learning center in a multi-grade classroom. Again, a learning center is a specific area in our classroom wherein they could mingle together, they could learn together, do the things together, they could experience different things all together. So again, the benefits of having a learning center in a multi-grade classroom. At a learning center, such as a reading area, such as a dress-up corner, so on and so forth, a student can work what? They can work individually. This is very important. They could work with a partner. They could work with a small group, such as in cooperative learning. They can work with their teacher. They can work with a peer tutor. Let's say, for example, the grade 1 learner can work together with a grade 2 learner. So the grade 2 learner will actually serve as the peer tutor. He or she is the more knowledgeable other in this case. So the grade 1 students can learn with a peer tutor. And lastly, a learner could learn with a parent or a volunteer, because in other areas we have student teachers, we have volunteer teachers that goes to far-flung areas and where multi-grade classrooms do exist. So in that case, definitely a learner could work together with a volunteer, and in some cases, so parents can actually visit their children. So the teachers will arrange some activities wherein the learner and the parent could cooperate all together and they complete a task together. So again, these are the beauty that the learning center brings inside our multi-grade classroom. So let me just transfer my face. Okay. So next, what are the roles of teacher in cooperative learning? Okay, so what should we do as future teachers in a multi-grade classroom? So as the students are learning the cooperative learning skills wherein they communicate with each other, they express their ideas very well. So on the other hand, the teachers need to be a model, in the case that a model of character, a model of having strong ethical values inside the classroom, being a model of enthusiasm, being a passionate teacher, um, putting his or her hearts into everything that he does or she does. So everything. Again, we teachers should become role models to our learners. The next role is that we teachers should be clearly taught. What does this mean? So when we say clearly taught, of course, we are enrolled, like for you, you are enrolled in tertiary education right now. You are taking up Bachelor of Elementary Education. So all of the things, your major subjects, your gen ed subjects, your professional education subjects are being taught to you. So your role for today as students in the academe is that you are going to embody all of the things that you are going to learn for you to become a very ideal professional teacher. And when the time comes that you are going to the field, so of course we can say that you are clearly taught because you are embodying all of the things, the good things that you have learned in the training ground. And so aside from that being clearly taught, you are reinforced. In what way that you are reinforced? So if you have already discussed the topic in professional education course, reinforced in a way that you attend trainings, you attend seminars, you do everything to continually develop yourself as a professional. So our role as a teacher in a multi-grade classroom is that we should be clearly taught and reinforced, because our students will be learning from that as well. Whatever they are going to learn, they will use it to develop themselves, to progress themselves. Okay? So next is, um we teachers should be creative, we should be innovative, resourceful, so on and so forth. And we can show that by creating posters or charts in the classroom. Of course, our classrooms have should really have bulletin boards. If you can still remember your classroom way back in elementary or high school days, so you have bulletin boards or like the learning areas like the charts for English, mathematics, science, Filipino, Araling Panlipunan, MAPES, so on and so forth. They are posted in our bulletin boards, and like we learn through that by like spending time whenever we pass through the bulletin board. So yeah, that is one way of learning for our learners. So we again, as teachers, it is our role to become creative, innovative, resourceful, and we can make that or you can show that through creating posters or charts for our classroom. And lastly, another role for teachers is that we should always remember to create a cooperative learning environment. Again, cooperative learning environment. So hopefully you can still remember what are those things that we need to consider in establishing a cooperative learning environment. So we should consider our physical space in our classroom. So that is the arrangement of our furnitures, the existence of our learning centers, so on and so forth. So again, we are the facilitators of learning. We are the classroom managers. So the establishment of cooperative learning environment relies in our hands as future multi-grade classroom teachers. So hopefully the roles of the teacher has been like cleared out, or you've got an idea of what are the things that we need to do as future multi-grade teachers. Now, in it's not just about the teachers role, or like the learning should be like rely only to the teachers, but we are already in the 21st century learning, right? And in the 21st century learning, the students have the greatest role inside the classroom. Why? Because if they do not like show the what do you call this one, they do not show their willingness to learn, of course, so there is no learning that will take place. So what are the things that we need to do, or what are the things that we need to assign, what are the roles that we need to give to our learners so that we can ensure that cooperative learning in our classroom is well executed. Okay, so the first role of a student that we can give to the student is, of course, before that one pala, we should group our students. Like if we are giving them or grouping them into 5 members in one group, or 10 members or 15 members in one group, we should make sure that each member of the group has a specific role. So that's these are the things that we are going to discuss right now. So what are the roles that we can give to our students in terms of cooperative learning? So first is that we can assign a student who will become the organizer in the group. So what does an organizer in the group does? So the student number 1, let's say for example student number 1 is the organizer, so he or she will provide the group with the overall process or structure. So he will like present to the class what are the things that they need to do in order to accomplish the project accordingly. So again, organizer. Let's say for the next the second student will be assigned as the recorder, or in our case the most common term that we use is the secretary in the group, right? So we can assign a secretary or a recorder in a group. So a recorder writes down important information while they are having discussion within the group. The third role that we can assign to our students is that, say for example, student number 3, he or she will become the checker of the group. So what will she do or he do? He will make sure that all team members understand the concepts and the team's conclusions. Okay, so he should like be very observant. He should listen to every answer of his or her group members or teammates so that he will be able to assess like who among the group needs help more. Okay? Kasi lahat-lahat sila magpo-progress. Dapat walang maiiwan. That's why dapat mayroon tayong i-assign na checker. Next is, there should be someone from the group who will serve as the questioner. Questioner, not questionnaire. The questioner, or the one who generates questions and will involve students. So generate questions, he or she will ask the group members, and the group members will in turn give their answer. So that's this is where the discussion will take place already. So dapat meron tayong questioner. Next, student, like another role that we can assign to the next student is the assessor. A student could become an assessor, and he or she will evaluate the progress of each work session. Assessor, he will assess whether they are having a progress in terms of their project that we are working on. Next is the encourager. Okay, it's very important that we assign someone from the group to become an encourager. Kasi, again, we are trying to what? We are going to establish the balance between the cognitive, psychomotor, and the affective domain, the wholesome development of our students. So, if mayroong cognitive, sila questioner, sila assessor, so on and so forth. Meron tayong sa psychomotor, who is assigned to do the task, so on and so forth. Of course, meron tayong dapat na encourager. He or she should model or reinforce appropriate social skills inside the team. And sometimes inside a team, when we make use of cooperative learning, of course our learners will deal with different attitudes in their classmates. So there should be someone who mediates the members in terms of conflicts when conflicts arise. Next is the summarizer. The summarizer restates the team's conclusions or answers. Next is the spokesperson or the reporter of the group, so represents the group and presents group work to the rest of the class. And the timekeeper, this is very also important, so that when the teacher will say, you are given 15 minutes to do the task. So the timekeeper will make sure that the group will finish the task on time. And lastly is the elaborator. He or she will moderate the discussion, facilitate the discussion, and makes sure that all have the opportunity to participate and learn during the discussion or the group activity. So we have here at least 10 roles of students. Isang roles na pwede nating i-assign sa ating mga students. So say for example, you have 10 members inside a classroom. So what if meron tayong 15 students? So you can think of another roles that you can give to your students. So you can still add, you can think of, again, you have to be creative and innovative in terms of giving or thinking of strategies that we can make use inside our classroom. Okay, so those are the things that we will have or we need to talk about our lesson for the cooperative learning environment. So that we have talked about the definition of cooperative learning environment, and let me just repeat, cooperative learning is composed of at least 5 students in one group and 3 to 5 clusters in a whole classroom. And then these are the things that we need to consider in terms of establishing a well-organized classroom: the space, the storage area, and you can also make make use of this roster, duty roster, so that our students will become responsible in performing the assigned tasks to them. And here are the roles of the teachers and the roles of the students that we can make use or we can give to them, assign to them when we make use of the cooperative learning approach. And that's it. So for these 2 videos, hopefully you have learned something. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye, teachers. God bless us all.